Students, today we are going to see lesson 1 part 2, Introduction to Microeconomics. First we will see explain the scarcity definition of economics and assess it. That is, economics is a science which studies human behavior and wants. First point, the features of scarcity definition is that hence refer to human wants means human wants being unlimited. Next point, features. Needs more resources to satisfy the unlimited human wants. Proper supply of products to satisfy the demands of the consumers must be produced properly. Next, last point. Next, scarce means scarcity, that is shortage. In that situation, alternative uses can be done. That is, if you need a product in a particular product of mobile, but you are not getting that mobile, what will happen? You can go to the next alternative use of mobile, next category of mobile. Criticism. Robbins tells scarcity definition does not tells about the theory of economic growth and development, but it tells only about the resource allocation. What are the crucial decisions involving what is produced? That is, there are some basic problems in economics. That is, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. In this chapter, in this portion, we are going to discuss only about what to produce. What to produce? Whether to produce more food or more luxury goods. More food means we eat every day. More luxury goods means to lead a luxurious life. Whether to have more agricultural goods or industrial goods. We as a consumer will select only more agricultural goods. Whether to use more resources in education and health or to use more resources in military services. You can think what to produce. That is, only education and health is needed for our society. Next, whether to have more consumption goods or to have investment goods. Consumption goods means what we consume for our purpose, for our needs. Investment goods means what is invested for the production. For example, the raw materials. If we need cotton cloth, we need only the cotton cloth. We don't need cotton, isn't it? For example, whether to spend more on basic education or higher education. At present, we are in the position in schools, isn't it? So, we will see about the basic education till higher secondary. And after finishing higher secondary to school life, we will move on to the higher education to college life. Explain the different types of economic activities. There are 4 types of economic activities. That is consumption, production, exchange and distribution. Consumption means consuming. What are the products are produced? It serves as a starting point of economic activity. That is the producer producing for the purpose of the consumer for purchasing the product for their needs. Next, production of goods and services is to satisfy the human wants. Producers are producing why? For the purpose of the consumers to buy and use the products. Next point, exchange. These are the 4 main points of economic activities. You can refer page 14 in your book. Exchange means money is the main medium of exchange. When we give money and we can buy a product and we can use the product. Distribution. A product is produced in the firm or industry and it is distributed to the wholesalers, retailers, then it reaches the hands of the consumers. That is about us. We are the consumers. Next one, elucidate the different features of services. Refer book page number 9. Page 9. As I told you, services means which is done to a product. We cannot see the product, but the service is done to the product. Last part I told you, isn't what is service? Now we are seeing about different features of service. In microeconomics, services are intangible. If you are having a car or a mobile or anything else, household appliances, electric appliances, it is get spoiled. What you will do? You will give it to service. So the service cannot be seen. It is not a product. It is intangible, means invisible. It is heterogeneous, means single type of service. That is, service means only repairs will be made. And next one, inseparable from the makers means it's connected only to the laborers and laborer. Only the laborers will do the service or laborers. The producer and consumer will not come in the service. Only the laborers will be connected with this. Perishable services means cannot be saved or stored. Next one we will see about the what are the important features of utility. Utility means usefulness. You can refer book page number 9. Utility means usefulness. First we will see what are the utilities. Psychological means it depends on the mentality of the consumer. Not utility not equivalent means not suitable to the consumer. Example, smoking. It is not good for his health means even the person is smoking, it is not equivalent. Not same as pleasure. For example, medicine. Medicine is not a pleasure, but a sick person must take the medicine properly for take care of his health. His or her health. Utility is personal and relative. That is, each person have different types of needs of a product at different situation. That is, for example, at present we can take mobile phones, isn't it? A businessman uses a mobile for business. A student uses a mobile phone for online classes. Next, utility of human wants means faces tendencies of diminishing marginal utility. When you start using a product, its need and its capacity reduces, isn't it? When you are hungry, you are eating one apple at the first. Then you are eating the second apple. What will happen? Your hunger will get reduced. That is diminishing. As you use a product, its value gets diminishing. That is diminishing marginal utility. The usefulness is coming reduced. Next one, utility subject concept means usefulness of a product cannot be measured objectively or numerically. That is a product which cannot, I am breathing so much, that and all we can't measure, isn't it? So it's a subject concept. Next one, last point, no ethical or moral significance. The purpose, the use of a knife, that is a cook use a knife for cutting vegetables, but a killer use a knife to do murder, to commit murder, isn't it? Next we will see about the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Micro means small. It deals with the economic decision making of producer and consumer. And it is a small component of whole economy. Deals with the price determination in factors of production. Since it's about the producer and consumer, it is dealing about the price determination. The producer also take over of the price, and the consumer, we also will see how much price is of the product, and then only we will consume. Deals with the price determination in factors of production. Next one, since it deals with the price, it's known as price theory. It is concerned with producer and consumers. Next we will see about the macroeconomics. Macroeconomics, means large, deals with output, national income, savings and investment. So it is dealing about large things in the country, isn't it? Output means when a production is made and how much profit is coming, that is called as output. And national income means the whole income of the country is calculated. And savings and investment regarding the banks, how much savings and a person is earning and how much savings he is making and in how much investment he is making will be seen in macroeconomics. It considers the economy as a whole, deals with the general price level because it is dealing with the money, national income, so it deals with the price level. Since it deals with the national income, savings and investment, it is known as income theory. But microeconomics is known as price theory since it is dealing with the prices. Here it is dealing about national income, savings, investment in large amount, so it is known as income theory. It is concerned with the growth process of the economic, that is economic development. But the microeconomics deals about the concern with about the producers and consumers, how much to produce and how much to earn profit. Last question, compare positive economics and normative economics. First I will tell you about positive economics. Positive economics deals with what it is, that is accurate, and the facts. It tells about the accurate and facts of the economics. Analyzes problems of facts and examines the causes and reasons of the problems in economics. That is positive economics. It deals with the question why and how of economics. Why to produce, how to produce, all these questions are coming under positive economics. Example, why the price level is increasing in an economy. That is a question of the consumer. So that is positive economics. Now we will see about the normative economics. Normative economics means with the what out to be. Out to be means indicate something. There it's seeing only the facts and accurate things. Here it is indicating something. Something means something assumption. Next question. Next, normative economics concludes related on facts but only on assumptions. It's telling only about assumption, not about facts. It's seen about good or bad economics. Positive economics asking the question why and how to by the consumers. But here it is asking the consumers ask the question good or bad of economics. Lastly, normative economics deals with inflation and deflation. Inflation means increase in price level, deflation means decrease in price level. And important instruction to the students, kindly read lesson 1, mark the one words in your book and learn the exercise page number 21-22. With this I stop my lesson and we will continue in the next class, part 3. Thank you children, God bless you.